I found a whole extra K member and A arms in the front of this thing. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Resurrection Motorsports. As you can see, the sun is blinding me. I probably should have sunglasses on, so if you see me squinting a lot, that's why. As always, I'm excited to be back with you guys. And as you saw in the thumbnail, we got a new, well, I don't know if it's new. I wouldn't say new. It's not a project either. I don't know what to call this thing. Anyway, it was our free car. Cameron posted this on Facebook saying that it needed a new home, and I was the one that went and picked it up. This was a previous race car. A friend of his was racing it at, I believe, Sebring. And anyway, we picked it up. I'm going to be completely upfront and honest with you guys. My only plan for this thing is to strip it and use the parts for what I need. And there's some cool stuff on the inside that maybe we can reuse, maybe scrap. I don't know yet. Haven't decided. But that is the plan for this car. Oh my gosh, it's so bright out here. Who knew? Florida sun in December. Anyway, so let's look at some of the stuff that made this thing an actual race car and go from there. Okay, so now that I can open my eyes and actually see, as you can see here, they made some custom fender vents for what I can only assume brake cooling. There's no liner in here, so yeah. And there's some nice vents up here on the fender. Nice little, this looks like a canister holder of some sort. It looks factory, so that's cool. Again, it was a race car. There's no motor, it's just a shell at this point. Oh, I didn't even notice there's an extra windshield wiper on this thing. How that survived the hour drive home, praise God. So glad that didn't fly off and hit somebody's car on the interstate. No mirrors, but let's see. Oh, because of my Bobo trailer with these giant fenders on it, we got to jack up the side of the car. All right, that should be good enough to get the door open. So we get the door open, and yeah, so it had a clean door pull in it, had the little metal clip and the door panel clip and everything. So I already pulled that out to put that in the Mach 1. Looking over this direction, there is a completely destroyed, what I believe to be a legitimate Corbeau racing seat and Momo steering wheel. Again, I'm pretty sure that stuff's junk. Maybe not. Maybe when we pull the steering wheel, maybe we can have it recovered in new leather and be good as new, and have a Momo steering wheel in the Mach 1. I don't know. For a car that's just been sitting, the dash is in kind of okay shape, I guess. Not much to it. Again, it was a race car. It's been kind of stripped at this point. However, kind of cool. If you can see this, and yeah, here we go. There is a bolt-in cage in this car. Well, there's a right here. It's already partially taken apart. But yep, full bolt-in cage. We'll be pulling that out, harness bar. I'm pretty sure this is probably a Corbeau unit that went with the seat. But again, that'll be hard to tell. But we'll be, wow. And this, the lighting of the camera, that almost looks like competition orange, but it is definitely what I believe to be a race red. So yeah, there's a bunch of extra parts back here, hubs, stuff like that, seat tracks, you know, stuff I don't really need, but it was free, so I brought it home. And factory seat that the Corbeau is sitting on top of, I don't need that either. But alas, it's here. I'm pretty sure it's a manual seat. Yeah, that's a manual seat. Clutch pedals is original 5-speed car. That's cool. Anyway, moving on. One of the big reasons that I wanted this is I believe the rear end to be an 8.8 rear end, which I need to build one for the Mach 1. So extra set of taillights here, nice clean taillights. Well, not so much that clean. This one has water in it, and the chrome is starting to peel off. Might The reflector bowls are peeling really bad. You can see that in there. That's interesting. But yeah, anyway, overall it's not a terrible shell. I've seen a lot worse. I don't think this door will open because, yeah, see, this trailer with its big fenders make it impossible. But yeah, there's a full set of 17-inch GT wheels in here. Some tires that are garbage. A bunch of parts sitting in here. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. There's moss in here. Awesome. Look at that. Yeah, so anyway, sat outside. Ex-race car, whatever. You know, got it home. We'll take what we can out of it. Scrap what we don't want, don't need. See this? These fender vents. On this side, where the fuel runs right through here too. But yeah, it is what it is. We're gonna get it apart. Now, these actually might be worth something. I have seen these things go for a decent amount of money. These bumper brackets. These are in mint condition. They're just not riveted to a bumper, so both sides are just as clean. Header panel's trash. As you can tell, got a little bent right there in the front. But anyway, oh, and it has SV lowering springs on the front. Have no clue what's going on in the back. Looks like factory shocks up front. Yep, KYB factory shocks. So that's it. Let's get to tearing this thing apart and see what other goodies we find. So, as you can see here, we got some white face gauges, along with some factory gauges. These white face have the little extra wiring, so I'm assuming they work. I don't know. Also, as I was saying, like right here on the car, there's brand new bumper brackets. There was another set in the car that are brand new. This is amazing. The last time I looked into these, they were $150 a pair on eBay. So literally, if I just sold those for what they're asking for on eBay, that's $300. It was a free car. I gave a pair of these away actually earlier this year. If you watch the video on the headlights, I gave them to my buddy Riley Deaver, who builds aftermarket headlights mainly for new edges. He'll do other vehicles, but his work is top notch on the new edges. He does the retrofitting with HIDs and LEDs, RGBs, and all that stuff. Not really my style. If you're into all that, that's cool. I don't hate on it. I just like stuff that looks factory. There was a side vent here. This, I believe, is a, I don't know, maybe driver's side? Passenger? I don't know, it's a pass. The other one is in the car. I left it in there. This is definitely a transmission cross member. There was a cold air intake bracket mount for the fender. I have an ant on me, and if you live in Florida, you know these little boogers will get you. All right, he's done. Factory, you can't see that at all. Let's see if we can get it in the shade here where you can read it. Look, it's a factory 2-valve mass airflow sensor. Still has the screen on the inside, believe it or not. Everything's in there. There's no, don't believe, I don't know. Whatever, it's in there. Again, the Corbeau seat, it's trashed. It needs new foam. But you can see this is a legit Corbeau. It's not like some knockoff. Radiator cover. Factory GT sway bar. This has messed up links. Funny that the bushings don't actually match. So they were replaced at a separate time. Here, that full set of 17-inch GT 5-spoke wheels. Just like that style. Now, there is no center caps for those, so I don't know where those are at. Going around this way, factory clutch cable. So if I happen to snap mine, I'm keeping that because my clutch cable is super tight as it is. Even though I have an adjustable quadrant, mine's already super tight. So if I snap it, I'll have another one. And I did get into the passenger side here, so you can see, we'll see everything else that's in here. There's that K-member. It's got that tire sidewall hanging on top of it, but it's got, you can see there, it's got the A-arms and everything still attached on both ends. Actually, that A-arm is tucked up underneath it. There's this mess of there's a whole nother driver side door harness in there. Then there's the brake booster and cylinder, master cylinder, and then there's the spindle. There's a spindle and rotor attached over here. Very interesting. What all is in here, actually. I was kind of surprised. However, they did label everything. You can see the tape. Everywhere you see the blue tape is a label of what it is. So that was cool. And that is about it. There's another, if you look right here, this piece of metal, this is a Corbeau style seat bracket for mounting the Corbeau seat. So there's two of those in the car, because the one on the seat that I pulled out has one. And there's an actual, I think maybe that sidewall belongs to that tire. It looks like a spare tire. But that's about it. And as you can see on this side, this harness bar is in really good condition, actually. So that'll be coming out once I get to it. Get to stripping this thing down anymore. I don't know what else I should keep. Anyway, crawled underneath the rear end, and it does appear to be an 8.8. Oh, that sounded lovely. Yeah, so anyway, crawled under the rear end. It does appear to be an 8.8, completely stock suspension. Lower control arms, upper control arms are completely stock. The shocks are they're OE branded, or OE replacement shocks, and the springs appear to be factory as well. So we'll be pulling that out and getting ready to build it, just like we did Rodney's for his Fox body. Which, if you come with me, I'll give you a little update on the Fox body while we're here. Yeah, that's it. It's still down to the frame. We're waiting on Holley to send us motor mounts. They've been on back order for like a year or more. I don't know. They're taking forever. Come on, Holley, get us our motor mounts. We need them badly. See, you can't see it over there. The Coyote's sitting over there all by itself. Anyway, so I'm gonna step in the shop in the shade, and hopefully you guys can see me. But anyway, so that's what we got out of the free car. We're definitely using the rear end. We're going to be building that in future episodes. But as far as this episode goes, if you like content like this and like seeing what I'm doing, share this video with your friends so they can see it too, and subscribe to the channel so that you can get notifications when I put out new content like this. Also, I'm very curious, what would you guys do if you had access, if you were given a car like this? I don't have a title for it, so it's pretty much scrap to me. You can't drive it on the road. I guess I could put a motor in it and drive it on the track, but I got the Mach 1, so there's really no need for it. So, but anyway, as always, don't forget to eat, pray, wrench. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. I just wanted to share with you guys a little, maybe a little lesson. I don't know how to put it anyway. So I went inside to get gloves because my hands were getting dirty, and I didn't want to cut myself on anything in there. There's a bunch of rusted metal. I thought maybe this would help a little bit. Anyway, when I walked in the house, I noticed there was some dishes that needed to be done, and I was like, man, I don't want to do dishes, but I need to serve my wife. For those of you who are married, this is kind of important, and it'll probably help your marriage if you recognize this and start doing it. And not to go too far off tangent from the subject of the video, but as a Christian, I'm taught that Jesus came to earth to serve me and be the propitiation, propitiation of my sins and the sins of the world, and his sacrifice of his life was God's way of loving us. So in that same vein, for those of you who are married or in a relationship period, if there's something that you notice your spouse or somebody in that relationship is doing, and this is the same for work too, like if there's something that somebody else doesn't like doing that is something you could do in your free time, just be a servant to them and do it, and show them in that manner that you love them. That's how you show to them that you love them, is by doing for them and being a servant to them and sacrificing yourself and what you don't want to do for them.